YCN, your local view on WVBK-CA, serving Manchester, Londonderry, Vermont, and South Charlestown, New Hampshire, and WVBQ-LP, serving Charlestown, New Hampshire, and Rockingham, Vermont.
Coming up tonight on YCN, fatal crashes in New Hampshire could cause elderly drivers to retake their driver's test. A man has pleaded guilty to first-degree arson after setting fire to his own apartment building in Springfield. Get an inside look on some sweet deals at the Golf and Ski Warehouse this season. And Dan Wolf, the chairman of the Kearsarge Regional School District Board of Education, talks to Capital Connections' John O'Connor. With more news and weather, stay tuned. It's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that is happening in our area. The YCN News Hour, your local view.
Welcome to YCN. I'm David Carmichael. Some fatal crashes in New Hampshire over the past year have caused the debate over requiring older drivers to take road tests before renewing their driver's license. In September, state officials reported a 30% spike in highway deaths compared to 2011. One of the state's fatal accidents happened on August 25th during a charity motorcycle ride in Westmoreland. About 200 motorcycles were traveling on Route 12 in Westmoreland when a car crossed over the center line and crashed into several motorcycles. Aaron Robar and Gary Chapney were killed. The man who drove the car into the motorcycles was 87 years old, and he couldn't explain why he crossed the center line. The crash immediately triggered a passionate debate about elderly drivers. New Hampshire has been road testing drivers 75 and up since 1963, but in 2011, Representative Bob Williams wrote and helped pass legislation that removed the age-based requirement. There are still efforts underway to reinstate annual road tests for aging drivers. State Representative Tara Saad of Walpole is pushing for that change. A Vermont man has pleaded guilty to first-degree arson for his role in setting fire to his own apartment building earlier this year. Firefighters say the April fire in Springfield endangered the life of a mother and her 2 children. Stephen Kucha has pleaded guilty and agreed to serve a 2 to 8 year sentence in prison and pay for the damage to the apartment complex. The Eagle Times reports that 48-year-old Kucha initially denied starting the fire, but later said he made a mistake and started it by lighting a few pieces of paper with a lighter. A police affidavit says that Kucha said he was stressed out because his daughter was leaving the state and he had no job or money. With fire investigators closing that case, another case is opened, but this one is not as suspicious. Crews reported to 188 Wall Street in Springfield at approximately 12:39 a.m. yesterday for a reported structure fire. Upon arrival, departments from Springfield and Bellows Falls found an unoccupied, vacant building ablaze and quickly contained the fire. It is considered a total loss with an estimated $100,000 worth of damage. There are no injuries as a result of this accident. New Hampshire Republican representatives are caucusing to pick a leader. The private caucuses today are to nominate a speaker candidate, but Democrats now hold the majority of the seats in the House, and if they stick together, their nominee will be elected speaker when the legislature organizes next month. The leading GOP candidates are former House Speaker Gene Chandler of Bartlett and Deputy House Speaker Pamela Tucker of Greenland. The New Hampshire Supreme Court has wrapped up a marathon of arguments in the first death penalty case before the court in 50 years. Now justices must decide if the death sentence imposed on Michael Addison, who was convicted of gunning down a police officer, still stands. Addison was sentenced to death for killing Manchester police officer Michael Briggs in 2006. After the break, we'll listen in on Nancy Tripp from the Kearsarge Choral Concert.
The YCN News Hour continues in a moment.